An inning that we're going to talk about for a long, long time as the Padres are a game away from another National League Division Series. A thrilling win capped off by a 6-run inning and a Fernando Tatis Jr. epic home run again. And the Padres ride that bullpen and will turn to Dylan Cease to try to close this thing out in Game 4. Get in here. John and Jim on the wrap-up show. It is Tuesday night or whatever the hell night it is. We'll be with you for the next 90 minutes to 2 hours. You have to subscribe. That's the rule. Rules are rules. You have to subscribe. Let's get to 7,500 subscribers tonight. We need your help. And you have to smash the like button. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We see the super chats rolling in. We'll get to every single one tonight. We promise you. We appreciate your support of the channel. If you want to see your comment on screen, click the $ below the chat box. If you want to become a member, click the join button down below. We'll get to every single super chat if you want to control the direction of the conversation. This is a brilliant win. It really was. Hard fought. No offense after the third inning in this game. The Dodgers had just one base runner in the final 6 innings after that grand slam. What a game that this was tonight. The Padres find a way with Scott and Adam and Suarez and the bullpen, and Michael King did enough here tonight. And the Padres win it, Jim. They are a win away from a National League Division Series.
First off,
Ken?
that second inning. What? What are you going to say?
Ken Rosenthal?
No, fuck that. We'll talk about that later. That second inning was like a religious experience at Petco. The most runs they've scored in an inning in postseason history for the Padres franchise.
And think about how they did it.
It was the ultimate shout out to Mudge Morton's power friendship inning. Is that what that's called, right?
Yeah. Power friendship inning. Yeah, I think it is.
Yes. And how they did it with Manny and the play at second, like such a heads up play by him, turning back and looking at Freeman. He like bordered on going out of the base path, but Freeman makes the throw in the center, into left field, excuse me. You get the double from Peralta, and then Cronenworth is alive. I mean, Cronenworth's alive. Two huge hits tonight.
Yeah.
And it all culminated with Fernando fucking Tatis Jr. just continuing to be the best player in baseball right now.
Yes.
He is on such a heater. Before the game today, we talked about it on John and Jim, and you kind of had a feeling like, dude, he has really good numbers versus Bueller. And he's got 4 homers. Yeah, 4 home runs off him lifetime. He has over 1,000 OPS versus Bueller. Tatis is just like surface of the sun hot right now. You make a mistake to him, it's 400 feet out. And that home run, literally Petco, like it just like felt like it levitated from that home run. And the crowd there's not a better crowd in baseball. I'm sorry, there's not. There's just not. I've watched them all, and this is the best crowd there is. And it blows Dodger Stadium out of the fucking water. Not even close.
Not even close.
And that inning was all they needed. And I mean, thankfully it was, because after that, not much else happened.
No, I mean, Teoscar Hernandez, I mean, I never thought at that moment when Hernandez hits that grand slam that was it. I never thought for 1 second that the final score would be 6-5. I thought the Dodgers were coming. I thought they were going to put the Padres in a position where the Padres are going to have to keep scoring. You just felt like the winner of this game, and we don't know if this is true or not, but you felt like going in. How many times do we say this today? The winner of this game is going to be the team that it was a must-win game. That's what we say going in for both the Padres and the Dodgers. But here's the play of the game. The play of the game is nothing that was just referenced. The play of the game is Manny Machado's base running. It is flat out the effing play of the game. Okay, well, I wasn't listening. The play of the game
his base running there,
is Manny Machado on the fielder's choice on the ground ball to first. Yeah. He is so fucking smart and so aware that he did a glance, the cursory glance back to first to see where Freeman was. Remember, the runner determines his running lane. He changed his running lane and got away with it to his credit. The Dodgers, by the way, if any Dodger fan here is mad, it's non-reviewable. And if the Dodgers wanted to argue it, that's on Dave Roberts. So Manny Machado knew exactly what he was doing. He was trying to get into that lane, and he did it perfectly. He wasn't technically out of the base path. He establishes his lane. I think by letter of the law, he may have still been within his base path, but that play predicated everything. I think that if that's called interference or obstruction, who knows if the Padres even score in that inning. And I give Manny Machado the win. Honestly, for me, Manny Machado is the winner here tonight because without that play, I don't think the Padres win this game tonight. I really don't. What do you got?
I just saw something on Twitter, and this confirms everything that I thought post-game, and I think everybody else thought too. Fernando Tatis Jr.'s Instagram post at this very moment.
Does it have a peacock?
I'm gonna put it up. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Oh, I can't. Hold on. Oh, come on. I have to pull this up. Actually, can you pull it up? Wait, hold on. I got it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. A dancing peacock. Dude.
Referencing, of course, Ken Rosenthal today in The Athletic called Fernando Tatis Jr. a dancing, smiling peacock. He called Manny Machado an irritator, and he said that Jurickson Profar is the guy that like pulls the fire alarm and says, "Who, me?" Let's get into that more later.
I mean, but God.
If anyone thought that Ken Rosenthal, the reason Joe Davis and John Smoltz interviewed Fernando Tatis Jr. post-game, because the Padres had to tell Fox there's no chance in hell that Ken Rosenthal is talking to on-air players because he crossed a line. I mean, he clearly crossed a line with this article that we talked about for 3 hours today on John and Jim. And sorry, Ken, like you went too far.
Yeah.
You're done. You're blackballed. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past Ken to be like too scared to even do it. But I think it was more of a blackball situation than Ken being too scared to do the interview. Did you freeze?
Sorry.
Jim buys a new computer and he freezes. Let's get to some of these super chats that are rolling in. Please subscribe. Are we getting to 7,500 subscribers tonight? We have to. The Padres are a win away from the National League Division Series. Set the stage for our viewers tonight, Jim. What are we asking for from our viewers tonight?
Look, we are a couple subs away from 7,400. We want to get to 7,500 subs tonight. We need to get at least a minimum of 500 plus likes on this video. And also subscribe as well. I mean, this tonight, job's not finished. Not finished. 2 down, 1 to go. Can't be celebrating like they're on the way to the NLCS with just 2 wins in a 5-game series. You need to win 1 more tomorrow night. You go for the kill with Dylan Cease on the mound. I'm so fired up right now. I am so fired up.
It was stressful, man. When Robert Suarez came out in the 8th inning, I was like, whoa.
Oh my. Well, here's the thing. This game, when we talked about it all day on John and Jim, this game was elevated to another level because of what Dave Roberts said and the bullshit article by Ken Rosenthal today. And if you don't think that this Padres team took notice to all of that and made it even more personal than it already was,
well, then you didn't see Fernando Tatis Jr.'s Instagram.
His Instagram, the post game, and the fact that the entire game, I noticed this, the entire game, Ken Rosenthal not once went to the Padres side of the field. Not one time. He stayed in the Dodgers dugout. He interviewed Dave Roberts. He did his first hit from the Dodgers sideline. Like, there was not one moment, and maybe I missed that, I don't know, not one moment that I saw with him even near the Padres dugout. One, that to me shows that the Padres said, yeah, you can go fuck all the way off. And if they didn't, which I think they 100% did, then Ken Rosenthal is like even softer than Dave Roberts.
I don't know if he spoke with Shildt or not. Someone put it in the chat. I don't know if Shildt spoke with Rosenthal during the game or not, but he may have. But 100%, he's persona non grata at Petco Park. He's getting booed off the field.
Excommunicado
off the field. Rich McGuire sent me text saying he's getting booed off the field on the way into the tunnel. He's
like what was he thinking?
He's a clown.
Good job, because it just pissed off the Padres even more. A team that that has gone on record and says we will not start things, but guess what we'll do? We'll finish them.
And basically, the Padres are going to win the World Series because of Ken Rosenthal. Thanks, Ken.
Good job, Ken.
Chucky D. Let's get started here with the Super Chats. There's a million to get to. Please subscribe, smash the like button, and let's get to these supers. Click the $ below the chat box. Chucky D, thank you. He says, change up to Muncy. You're talking about Bobby Suarez. Was the best of the year. Plants the seed of doubt, so you can't sit dead red. Hashtag take the change up off the milk carton. He threw a lot of really good breaking pitches tonight. Or he threw off speed pitches here tonight. He did create that seed of doubt, so to speak. Suarez was throwing 101, 102, hitting spots, mixed it up enough, got a 4-out save against the Dodgers in a 1-run game, didn't have to turn the thing back over to Ohtani. What more can you say? I mean, there have been some doubters in there, myself included, and he proved people wrong here tonight.
If, you know, like the subplots, like game within a game type of stuff you talk about here, if Suarez is going to look like that in the postseason, okay,
then all good.
All good, dude.
And
I mean,
all these relievers get amped up a little more. You know, you saw Jeremiah Estrada tonight. You see Tanner Scott, how good he's been, obviously, against Shohei Ohtani. You see Robert Suarez pumping 101, 102, mixing in those off-speed pitches. Hentrick, thank you for the super. It says Suarez back in the circle of trust. I think that is completely fair after tonight. So Crone got 2 hits. Can we talk about Arise not hitting tonight instead? Or is it cool since the Padres won? LFGSD. Thank you. This is my point. There's always going to be a guy. Like, you're in the postseason. You're not scoring 16 runs. We're going to look at a box score every night and say, did they win or lose? If they win with Machado going 0 for 4, we're all going to live with it. And if they lose with Machado going 4 for 4, you're not going to sleep well that night. So this is now so late in the year that you're 9 wins away. Who the F cares?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and I think he's kidding.
No, I know you're kidding, Hendrick, for sure. Yeah, Luis Arise, not a great game, but guess what? They won. You know, I mean, there wasn't a moment in the game that Luis Arise had a complete blunder. Like, if the bases were loaded or something, and he comes up and you know doesn't come through, then yeah, you talk about it. But like, the win tonight's the most important. I don't care how they won. I don't care if they won one. Like, I don't care if they won 1-0, got no hit. The only run they scored was because of a pass ball. That's all that matters. Like, it literally is all that matters. Who cares about who got the big hit or the big run or the big home run or the big, like, you got to make sure that the most important thing is you pick up the win. And that's what happened tonight, but it still happened because of the big boys. I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, David Peralta had a huge hit tonight. Like, the bullpen, I know you mentioned the bullpen was completely lights out. Jeremiah Estrada had a huge bounce back. Jason Adam was clutch as always. Tanner Scott looked great. I mean, he's the Ohtani, like, X factor. I mean, he is the guy that you want against Ohtani every time in late game situations. And then Robert Suarez, just welcome back, Robert. Welcome back, Bob.
After the grand slam, I'm looking. So the grand slam happened in the 3rd inning. And the Dodger that reached was Freddie Freeman with a 2-out single in the 8th. That was it.
Yeah.
There was a grand slam in the 3rd inning, and the next Dodger to reach was Freddie Freeman on a 2-out single, who was then taken out because of his ankle. Matthew, thank you for the very generous super chat. He says, let's talk about Manny's runs a second. He's out of the whatever, doesn't divert to the infield and obstruct Freeman's throw. He takes his chance. They don't call it. It's not reviewable, and he's safe. High IQ baseball, 100%. And this is where I basically started the show. That, listen, you're out either way. If he doesn't try to get into that running lane, right, and make that a tougher throw, well, he's out because Freddie Freeman's got a clear and easy throw to second base. So why not make it more challenging? Now, if they're going to call it, they're going to call it. But they didn't call it. It's non-reviewable. The Dodgers don't even argue it. And you change the course of the series potentially. They score 6 runs after that moment. Think about that. It's a leadoff single followed by fielder's choice.
Yeah.
If not for that moment, guys, I have no idea what happens in this game, nor do I know if the Padres win, nor do I know if they score 6 runs in the inning. And I give Manny Machado a ton of credit. I mean, this is where they started Fox's postgame show, and they talked about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This, to me, is the moment of the game. You can talk about Tatis. You can talk about Robert Suarez. You can talk about whatever you want. This is the moment of the game. You never know what moment could lead to something big happening. This, to me, could have been a 6-run swing on this play that Manny Machado essentially made that benefited the Padres.
Yeah, it was again, it won't show up in the box score, but it was one of the plays of the game for sure. Manny could have gone over. What did Manny go for tonight? He went.
He had 2 hits.
He had 2 hits, but he could have gone 0 for 4. And if that moment still happened, or 0 for 3 with the walk, or whatever, but that moment, that base running moment, was bigger than the 2 hits. Now, it created a rally to where they just didn't look back. Now, again, that grand slam wasn't like cool, like it wasn't good.
No.
But Michael King did an amazing job bouncing back, and I think retiring 8 in a row, or maybe more than that, after the grand slam. Because, he looked, John, I don't know about what you thought, but to me, it looked like he hasn't slept much lately. It looks like he was completely on adrenaline. He hasn't shaven. Michael King. Like, he just was out there. It looked like, he hasn't shaved since his game 1 start versus Atlanta.
I mean, look at the placement of the Betts home run, which, by the way, we haven't even talked about. It was an identical ball to the play. I thought Profar caught that again. I thought Profar caught it too, and so did Betts. Ran off the field. He was on the infield grass and had to go back into the base paths. So there was that, but he left that ball up, and then he did the same thing to Teoscar Hernandez. So it wasn't his best, but best was not required, and it was good enough. And he did get through that 5th inning and give the Padres a chance to win this game, and he did earn the win. Vector 53, thank you. He says, bullpen picks up King and a sub-zero offense, LFGSD. It was not a sub-zero offense.
No.
The Padres out-hit the Dodgers in total hits. They had a huge home run from Fernando Tatis Jr. They scored 6 runs. Yeah. That is above an average outcome or output for an offense in the postseason. If you score 6 runs, you're going to win 85% of the time or more. Yeah. So I wouldn't call it sub-zero. This is the postseason. The other teams are good too.
The only thing that I didn't like is that Buehler went 5. I was hoping that after the 6-run second, because little Ken Rosenthal interviewed his best buddy Dave Roberts, and Dave kind of conceded as we're not going to throw the white flag right now, but still it's going to be kind of tough. We're going to see what happens, and we'll go to the bullpen, blah, 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 blah. And then you get Buehler giving you 3 more innings. I'm like, that does, at that moment in time, once Buehler gets through 5 and it's a 6-5 game, I'm like, oh, this is going to be stressful.
I agree completely with you. I give Buehler credit. He blew up in the dugout after the big inning, and I would have too. It was a shit show of an inning from their perspective.
Yeah.
And then Dave Roberts came out there in the 5th inning. I thought he was yanking him. He didn't. He left him in. They got out of the spot. It's set up. Now, after the grand slam, you're thinking to yourself, are you freaking kidding me? This game is completely wide open, and this is not going to be easy. So for the Padres to win that game, to hold a lead against LA when they're coming with that offense, and for them to never really get even or ahead in that game is a credit to the Padres, Michael King, and their bullpen as well. JD Gasha, thank you. He says, baseball's a funny game. Buehler and Yamamoto matched King and Cease, yet San Diego's taken 2 of 3. I don't know if Buehler and Yamamoto match King and Cease, because Buehler, again, not all of it was his fault, but he left trailing.
Yeah.
And same thing with Yamamoto.
Yamamoto left
trailing the Aztecs game.
Yeah, Yamamoto left trailing.
Yeah, they both left trailing.
Yeah, 5-3. And Cease, I mean, it was, hold on. Cease gave up, what did he give up? I mean, he gave up 5, but Morahone came in. Cease
gave up 3 in 5. He gave up 5?
He got 5 and 3, but 2 of those were runners that he left on base that were inherited by Morahone, I want to say. Dude, my head's so fucking everywhere. I don't fully remember game 1. I'd have to go back and look. All I know is that they pitched to Ohtani with the base open and 2 outs. But anyway, I think that King did a fantastic job tonight getting through 5. I said on John and Jim, we talked about it. If King gets through 5 tonight, I feel really good about their chances. 6, to me, no brainer. They're winning this game. 5, I felt really good. And he got through 5, and it wasn't easy. It was he labored, like, the home run to Mookie in the first, the grand slam there in the third, giving up, I think, 3 straight hits and then the grand slam. But he did a great job of bouncing back and retiring however many he did in order, 8 or 9, maybe more after that. I think,
Yeah, it was the last 8 or whatever it was he faced.
yeah,
Because that was in the 3rd inning. He didn't allow another man to reach.
no, he was, in that sense, he was great. And in the postseason, dude, you're not going to expect to have your best stuff. It's about when you have your best stuff at the time you have it. And with a 1-run lead, you needed to keep it a 1-run lead to get to your bullpen. And Michael King did a fantastic job getting through the 3rd inning without allowing any more damage. And then the 4th and the 5th,
It was
scoreless.
8 up and 8 down.
Okay, so 8 up, 8 down. I think King, like, you might look at the box score and be like, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 home runs allowed, 5 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. That's not a good game. Actually, I will disagree. I think he pitched, with the score that it was, and then what happened there, I think he pitched pretty good after that.
Of the final 21 Dodgers to come to the plate after the grand slam, 20 were retired. I mean, that's unbelievable against LA. I mean, that's truly unbelievable with a series and a season, not truly on the line, but kind of on the line. It's unbelievable. And by the way, Dave Roberts has now announced it will be a bullpen game for Los Angeles against Dylan Cease, and the Padres will be, according to Las Vegas, favored to win in Game 4. The question is, can they win in Game 4 back at Petco Park? You thought tonight was raucous. Wait for tomorrow night. Jake, thank you for your support of the channel with the super sticker. Potentially, it doesn't show up in our software, but thank you.
Thanks,
for your
buddy.
support of the channel. Brisk, thank you. He says that grass play to second by Manny was great baseball IQ. Yeah, I mean, again, I think a lot of people here have seen it. Maybe you were there and you haven't had the benefit of replay.
Right.
But Manny made a decision to cut off that throw from Freddie Freeman, make that angle real tough.
Yeah.
Arguably obstruction, whatever. It's not called. It's not obstruction. It was a headsy, smart baseball play that is the difference between winning and losing. He made a winning play in a game that has given the Padres a command of the series 2-1. That's who Manny Machado is. When Ken Rosenthal writes, this is Manny being Manny. No, Padres fans know this is Manny being Manny. He is smart as hell. He makes smart on-field decisions. He did it again tonight. Whatever you think about him throwing a ball towards the third base dugout, the dumbest argument, the dumbest controversy in the history of baseball, the real Manny Machado is the smart IQ on-field player that played out once again here tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the smartest IQ baseball players in the game.
Yep.
No doubt about it in my mind. Like, you can never question Manny ever on his baseball IQ. It's just, you can't. And when he made that play tonight, it was such a headsy IQ play that, again, like I said, it just doesn't go down in the box score. But, for everyone that watched this game, it will be remembered as one of the moments of the game, which led to the capping off of the inning and Tatis hitting a 2-run homer there and sending Petco Park into an absolute frenzy. Yeah, I just can't talk enough about that moment where it's like, I mean, yeah, dude, I love that moment. I fucking love that moment by Manny.
No doubt. Let's get to some more of these supers. Guys, if you are here, there's 900 of you here live. There'll be thousands of you here.
It's 1,000 live. Let's get that baby up.
Let's get this thing. First of all, let people know that we are hanging out tonight. If you wouldn't mind telling Padres fans that the wrap-up show is live right now, put it on social media. Let people know. Text people. The larger the community, the better. So let's get some people in here. You got to subscribe. We've gone over 7,400 subscribers with your help.
Let's go.
We're on our way to 7,500 subscribers with your help. The Padres are a win away from a National League Division Series, championship series, for the second time in 3 years. So let's get this thing going. Subscribe, smash the like button, and thank you for your support of the channel with the super chats. Vector53, appreciate you. He said, loved Alfaro throwing the first pitch, lucky charm. How about that? The originator of the LFGSD, Jorge Alfaro, back inside Petco Park. That's some good, momentum. That's some good vibes, right, for Petco Park tonight.
Oh, yeah, dude. Vibes are very high with Jorge Alfaro, as always. I would be interested to see who throws out first pitch tomorrow. A lot of people have been wanting Will Myers. it's going to be somebody that has a connection to the Padres and San Diego. I feel like it's not going to be some nobody. They just started off the night on a good note, even though right after that, Mookie hits the home run in the first, and you're like, oh shit. Cause I didn't mention anything today. And I know if I did, you would have like literally murdered me, but
I would have killed you. You
Mookie,
almost started the show with it.
I did.
You were like in Mookie. I'm like, dude, and now you weren't going to say something, but you're like, I have something that I could say. I'm not going to say.
Oh yeah, man. Well, anyway, we can say it now because he had a couple hits tonight. He was 0 for his last 22 in the postseason, dating back to 2 years ago.
But he's dangerous. We just know it. He's capable. And I mean, think about even the 0 for 22, Jim. If not for the play by Profar in game 2, he homers. And then tonight he homers. Like, he's a very capable, streaky enough, dangerous enough, former MVP enough. Like, he's just, he has enough that in a short series or in a moment, he can beat you. And we've seen it. If you're a Padres fan, you've seen it. I've seen a 2-out home run off Josh Hader maybe a couple of years ago in a regular season game that Mookie Betts had that turned the course of a game around. So he's a very good player, and you kind of cross your fingers and hope that he doesn't make a huge impact in the final game plus of the series. Rocket, thank you. It says Machado's base pathing in that second inning won them this game. I agree with that. The bullpen was absolutely lights out. King struggled, but did just enough. Now Cease just needs to lock in, and let's wrap this shit up tomorrow. FTD, LFGSD. I think that's that's fair. I think a lot of people feel that way. I agree with you on King. I thought it was more than struggling. I thought he did a nice job to, keep the Padres bullpen rested. They didn't need to throw 7 innings in this game, and they didn't because of him. But if you're Dylan, here's the thing with Dylan Cease. It's a lot like Michael King, Jim. He doesn't need to go 7 scoreless innings. He needs to go 5 good innings. Is what he needs to do.
Yeah. You get through 5 tomorrow. If Dylan Cease gets through 5, I feel great about their chances to win. I just do. I also think that he's going to put up a better performance than he did game 1 because at home, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm just going off of what I see and what I've watched. At home, he's a better pitcher, I think, or I think he has a chance to be better at home rather than on the road. I mean, I just feel that.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't know the numbers.
I mean, it's a tough assignment, Jim. The Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. I mean, they win 70% of the time. It's not easy. It's not easy to go to Dodger Stadium and win the game.
No, it's not.
I'll take my chances at home over going there. I don't want to go there for a 5th game. Go win this thing in 4.
Yeah, I love the decision here to go with Cease tomorrow on 3 days rest. You're going for the kill, and don't mess around here. Just like have your best guy out there. Don't worry about the rotation in the NLCS if you happen to get there. Don't worry about that. Worry about game 4. Your best pitcher that's available is Dylan Cease. And I think the feeling was if they went up 2-1, they might go Martin Perez or bullpen day. Now, with the decision already being made, I am so glad they're not doing that because I actually would have felt pretty nervous going. I'm still nervous, but I think it would have created a lot of nerves for everybody if Martin Perez is out there instead of Dylan Cease on short rest. And
yeah, I agree completely with that. Yeah. Joe Rossi, thank you for the super chat, guys. If you're here, please subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the supers. We'll tell you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, coming up at some point in the next 10 or so minutes as well. He says, everyone in the chat complaining about Crone the last couple of weeks, and look what he did tonight. Winning is all that matters. Thanks, J&J. I mean, we've made this point. I even saw after game 2, I didn't think it was fair. I'm like, you get this dramatic blowout drama win in game 2, and people are talking about Jake Cronenworth. I'm like, guys, you're missing the point. Your attention is turned in the wrong direction. The 10-2 win with 6 home runs and the back and forth with Profar and Machado and the he said, she said, that's the story. These are Major League Baseball players. And Cronenworth has had some moments in the postseason, and he's a veteran guy at this point. He's going to have some hits, and he did tonight. You just got to kind of trust the process a little bit. Guys have highs and lows. It happens with Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado. So it's going to happen with Jake Cronenworth. So I thought it was a little bit unfair because it's not like the Padres are down 3-0 in a best-of-7 series, and Jake Cronenworth is 0 for 12, and he hasn't come through with men in scoring position the whole series. Okay, then, of course, be critical. We all would be. That's not where they are right now. So I think we need to recognize that.
And I think this bodes well for the rest of this series and potentially the rest of the postseason going forward, because now the conversation is done with, hey, can Cronenworth get a hit? Can Crone get something going? I mean, tonight he played a big role in this game. He looked good at the plate, looked a lot better than he did the first 4 games of the postseason. And you're right, Joe. Winning's all that matters right now. It's if you get one hit and you win, dude, I literally could care less.
Yeah,
if they win Game 7 of the World Series with one hit, is anybody going to be after the game like, dude, I can't believe they didn't score any more runs? Like,
I don't think so.
Like imagine that, John. Imagine Game 7 of the World Series. They end up having the bases loaded all because of like a walks and errors or whatever. They don't have a hit. Tatis hits a grand slam. That's the only hit and runs of the game. And they win Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, no one cares. Sign me up now.
Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Richard, thank you for your support of the channel and your membership. And the super chat says, can y'all explain to me on the home run by Betts and him going out of the base paths and still being a home run? I'm confused. Great win still. Hashtag LFGSD magic number 5 to the World Series. You have 5 more wins necessary to get to a World Series. That's correct. He did leave the base paths. You're not out for leaving the base paths if you hit a home run. No. It's not going to happen. No. So if you pass someone on the base pass, that becomes problematic. And that's a shit show. But that didn't happen. It was a solo home run. It's a solo home run. You're right. He left the base path. You're right. But
the magic number actually is 9.
5 to get to the World Series.
Right. I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking.
No, I agree. Completely.
Magic number's 9.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Danny Redbirds, thank you for the super. He says, peaked in Dodger Nation podcast, all shiny and smug the other day. Today, not so smug, not so shiny. Got blocked. That's hilarious.
Well, you're welcome.
LFGSD. Danny. Good for you, man. Congratulations, Danny. I appreciate you getting blocked for us, truthfully. I mean, listen, we said talk with your play in Game 3. Padres said it on social media. Man, and this series isn't over, to your point. And the team that wins this thing can laugh about it for the next 12 months or more, potentially, but you got to win this series. But like if you're Dodger fans and you're so smug about Manny Machado threw a ball so strongly, you're going to have to back it up by winning. And if you don't win, nobody's ever going to care. Nobody's going to care ever again about it. And we're going to laugh for a long, long time. So that we're not at that point. It's 2 games to 1. It's not 3 games to 1 or 3 games to 2, but I mean, I don't really care about Game 2, nor do Dodger fans. What they care about right now, I promise you this, is being down in the series 2 games to 1.
Yeah. I mean, if you lose this series, and I'm talking about the Dodgers, it's going to be considered one of the most epic failures in franchise history over the 2022 season, over last year, over whatever other season they won 100 games they didn't win the World Series you want to talk about. I mean, you got to realize that you fucked with the wrong team. It's not over, but man, tonight, dude, if I was doing a Dodger wrap-up show, thank God I'm not, because I'm not a Dodger fan. Thank God. I'm putting all the blame on this game on Dave Roberts. And I'm putting it on Jack Flaherty. I'm putting it on Ken Rosenthal. I'm putting it on the fact that they decided as a team, and even Max Muncy talked about it today before the game. Game, they have decided as a team after Game 1 to turn this into Padres are the villains. They're the showboaters. I can't believe that they did this. I can't believe that they're trolling our fans. I can't believe Manny acted the way he did. I can't believe he did this. Instead of focusing on the true task at hand, which is winning a series. And they've completely jumped the shark, at least at this moment, it feels like. Things can change, knock on wood. It doesn't. Tomorrow, it's over with. But they have done this to themselves. And tonight, I mean, that second inning, dude, Dave Roberts is probably like, oh, shit.
You know what? I completely agree with you, but I don't care if Dave Roberts would have gone into the Petco Park media room today and said he's going to give a $1,000 scholarship to every San Diegan. That second inning is one of those Padres innings that just happens. And I completely agree with you. You don't need to give the Padres any additional motivation. And man, they feed off it. They fuel off anything that's personal and they use it to their advantage. But in that second inning, things happen, man. It was a Padres inning. Ground balls in the infield that were unplayable, balls off the backs of people like Manny Machado. And then Tatis does what Tatis does. So he deserves all the credit in the world for that. But it was the power of friendship inning for the San Diego Padres that we've probably seen 4 or 5 dozen times, if not more. Over 170 games at this point. JD Gaucho, by the way, we're going to hopefully reach 1,000 viewers here tonight. So please
get this baby up, guys. Let people know.
Let people know. Can you help us get 1,000 people live? It'll be the first time in the history of the channel we've had 1,000 people live. I think we had 11,000.
There we go. 1,000. Boom. We got it. Let's go.
First time ever. Clap emojis in the chat for everyone.
Let's go. Keep this up. We got 1,000 of you here live. Get this baby up. Get to 1,100. Let's get 500 likes on this show tonight. I mean, we're celebrating a win. We're not celebrating a series win yet. Job is not finished. But it's an exciting night to be a Padres fan for sure. And you got to celebrate wins like this. You know, you can celebrate wins like this without acting like the series is over because it's not.
Yeah, 100. I mean, and if you're not celebrating a win like this, then what are you doing? Because you could go a decade between wins like this in the National League Division Series. The Padres have gone a decade plus without wins like this in the NLDS. JD Gaucho, thank you. He says, I'm glad I saw a fight from LA after going down 6-1. He's a Dodger fan, a longtime supporter, though, of the channel. Despite losing, my question about their mental toughness was answered. They'll be ready for Game 4. I don't doubt that. They don't roll over. They're not rolling over in Game 4, but we have to address the facts of the case. It was a little bit like King Buehler. I liked the pitching matchup. It ended up being just good enough. It wasn't necessarily Buehler's fault what happened in the second inning other than Tatis, but it was good enough for the Padres. And I'll take Cease over Bullpen. I'll take Cease over Bullpen day. So I'm going to take that advantage. I don't think the Dodgers roll over. And my guess would be it's going to be a good game. That would be my speculation and my guess. I think it will be a good game. I think the Dodgers were threatened. They could make it hairy like they did tonight. They took a lead. They made it a 1-run game. But it's not about the Dodgers quitting. It's about the Padres outplaying the Dodgers and being better than them and winning this series for me.
Yeah, like that the Dodgers. We said it today, dude. They're not going to lay down, dude. They're just not. I mean, if they did, again, would I be surprised? Probably not. But I'd
be surprised.
It's just a Dave Roberts, trait to me. But they got guys on that team that have some pride, and they're they're professional baseball players. They're not going to, just give up here. And they showed fight tonight. And Hernandez hits that home run. The entire place goes dead silent. That moment felt like to me like almost a shift in the series potentially. Didn't it feel like that to you, where you're like, all the momentum the Padres have just had, and this is the breakthrough point that the Dodgers absolutely needed. And luckily it didn't happen tonight, and the Padres, secured that 1-1 win. One-run win.
Or the 1-1 win.
1-1 win. Yeah.
I was pacing, and you texted me, and I laughed because I was in the kitchen doing dishes.
I was going back and forth, bro.
And what really worried me is, as good as the Padres bullpen had been and as quiet as the Dodgers bats had been, when Freeman hit a 2-out single, I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? Now the go-ahead runs at the plate. Someone's just going to turn on something. It's just going to get yanked over a wall, and all of a sudden the Dodgers are going to have a 1-run lead. You're like, oh my God, how on earth did this happen? But it didn't. And by the way, Mike Shildt deserves a lot of credit. He goes to Suarez in the 8th. He chases it down right there with the righty Hernandez up. He's not going to leave a lefty on the mound. Suarez gets out of the 8th inning and then works a 1-2-3. 9th inning. Kellen, thank you for the super chat. He says, let's talk about the national broadcast. Suarez gets the 3rd out and they are silent. Lots of other examples. Such a strange thing to watch. It's a little odd. Like, I didn't think Joe Davis was egregious tonight in terms of like pro Dodgers. I really didn't. He was very complimentary of Petco Park and the fans and the Padres bullpen, and Fernando Tatis Jr.'s on cloud 9 and yada. But it just feels like they're forcing it a little bit, which would make sense since Joe Davis, his day job is to call LA Dodgers games.
I think it was might have been the 7th inning. I forget what inning it was. It was later in the game. I don't know if you caught this.
Okay.
Me and Aaron looked at each other, and Aaron goes, what the fuck is he talking about?
I probably caught it.
when Joe Davis said that Shohei Ohtani was 6 batters away.
Oh yeah. They told him to say that in his ear. That was the first thing I thought.
They didn't put the graphic up, but Joe Davis mentioned
I guarantee
Ohtani's 6 batters away.
Mention where Shohei is.
I'm like
6 batters. Like, chill, dude.
You know what? I mean, again, is my ears bleeding? Yes. Do I think that Ken Rosenthal completely ruined his reputation with the hit piece against Manny Machado today?
I'm done with that.
Yes. It makes it a little sweeter if the Padres can pull this off with the announce crew that they have and Ken Rosenthal in the building and the Dodgers. Now, they have to win the game for that to feel like as sweet as it possibly can feel. But as much as I hated the game 1 broadcast and contemplated muting game 2, now with where the Padres are at up 2-1 with a chance to move on to the NLCS tomorrow, it just kind of would make it sweeter if those guys were in the building to witness that and have to call that game and have to be excited about it. I know he doesn't want to be excited about it, but he's got to try to not be as biased as possible.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. It's just a weird situation for a broadcaster to be put in, honestly.
Yeah,
But Joe Davis is paid handsomely to do it. I know that. They're paying him extremely well to do that job. It's got to be weird as hell for him. I mean, if the series ends and the Dodgers lose, do you go down to the Dodgers clubhouse and be like, sorry? I mean, it's just a weird situation to be put in.
And to think about going forward, again, I'll preface by saying, job's not finished, got to win one more game. But if the scenario were to happen where the Padres win the NLCS or go to the World Series, guess who is going to be there to have to interview those guys? It's Ken Rosenthal. And I would bet you that they're going to continue to tell them, nope, not happening.
Well, at that point, they might have to bring someone else in, truthfully.
Yeah,
that would be my guess. And what is Ken going to write tomorrow? I mean, don't even get me started on that article. I can't even deal with that article. It was that absurd. You lose all credibility writing something like that. You can't hit publish. And the editor that allowed that to be published, I sound like Mike Gundy. Like, I'm 40, I'm a man. And the editor that published that thing is garbage.
Yeah.
Evan, thank you. He says our pitching staff is so cracked that they essentially been able to neutralize Shohei Ohtani for 2 straight games. Knock on something.
Knock on wood, guys. Everybody watching right now, over 1,000 people watching. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Until this series is over and the Padres have won it, I don't want to comment on Ohtani. He's fully capable, obviously, and we already have seen it in the series.
You can go out tomorrow and go 4 for 5 with 2 home runs. Like,
I don't want to. He flied out to the warning track. I thought it was gone. I don't want to deal with it right now. No. Jay, but thank you for your support of the channel. Not yet. When the series is over, we can freaking talk about Ohtani all day long if the Padres
and hopefully it's with the Padres winning the series.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it if the Dodgers win the series. JD Goucher, thank you. Says Nando's bomb in the 2nd inning. Wow. I mean, just Fernando. Wow. Mm-hmm. He is so special. And you've heard me say this so many times, Jim. It's all full circle now. Yeah. The last 6 years have been ups and downs and roller coasters. And for him to be at the high right now is incredibly fun to watch. They took this guy off marketing materials in 2022. They erased him from the San Diego Padres because of the suspension. His own doing.
Right.
And then to see where he is, 2023 looked bad. There were people questioning his ability at that point. It was not good. Sub 800 OPS for this guy that's an amazing power hitter. Oh, is it the steroids? That's what naysayers would have said, right? Mm-hmm. And then 2024 up and down, misses 80 games, whatever it was. And to play like this right now is just insanity. It's just beautiful. You hoped you'd see this for MVP type season after MVP type season throughout the course of his career. He just hasn't stayed healthy. You were hoping he'd lead you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 World Series titles. And here he is right now playing the best baseball of his career.
I just saw an article. Sorry. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's just more salt in the wound of Dodger fans and showing how it should be done. Now, again, this has nothing to do with anything, but it just said a Friar fan finds a good home for Mookie's home run ball. He found an 11-year-old Mookie Betts fan and gave him the home run ball in the stands. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, nothing really to do with anything. I just thought it was a cool thing to have highlighted there.
There's something I saw tonight, kind of like how you said, I don't want to talk about bets being over 22 heading into the game.
Yeah.
There's something I've seen tonight that I can't talk about, but I just want it to be noted in this exact moment that there's something that I've seen that hopefully we can talk about later. But not at this exact moment. Not at this exact moment.
Okay.
I want to tell you about Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor, in one moment, but I do want to get to this super. We're going to get to every single super tonight. Let me just get to this one from Hendrick. Thank you, man, Hendrick. He says, Ken, just feed the Padres guys who love slights. I mean, that's exactly right. It plays into their laps. And they're eating it up. Same thing with Dodger Stadium in Game 2. The Dodger fans played right into the Padres' desires and hopes and wishes, make it personal. And that really feeds into the Padres. So I completely agree with you, Hendrick. And it was a really bizarre decision by Ken Rosenthal. I would imagine it would be what is he thinking, having to go back to Petco Park tomorrow? How is he sleeping tonight? I have no idea. I need to thank, and we need to thank our telesponsor, Mark Nimitz, here on the wrap-up show. So I told Jim this. I called Mark yesterday because I lost my ID. It's lost, and I'm flying to Laramie, Wyoming with San Diego State. Look at this. I have no ID. Okay.
Great. Show everybody your credit card number too while you're at it.
There's nothing here, you idiot.
No, your credit card, not your ID.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But I lose my ID, and I go to like a DMV kiosk, and I'm like, they're like, we need your driver's license number to get you a temporary card. And I'm like, how would I have my driver's license card? I lost my driver's license. I call Mark because he does my insurance. He gives it to me in 2 seconds. He's a true lifesaver. He picks up. He wants to talk about frickin' Ohtani and frickin', everything. And I'm like, dude, I need my license number. He's like, here it is. Boom. I got my temporary driver's license. Mark's an amazing insurance agent. He's going to save you money, but in addition to that, he's going to save you time, and he's just got great service and communication. So auto, home, renters, life, earthquake, whatever it is. I've got homeowners, earthquake, and life insurance through Mark. If you support the channel, please support Mark Nimitz by clicking the link in the description down below. Lifelong Padres fan, native San Diegan, was there tonight. He was at the Naughty Barrel. We need to talk about that. Moving on as well. But if you support the channel, if you have an insurance need, if you want to save money, if you want great service and communication, get in contact with Mark Nimitz by clicking the link in the description down below.
All his information is there. It's right there. Contact Mark. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
All right, let's get back to this. There are still over 1,000 people here live right now. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do that because we'd love to get to 7,500 subscribers tonight with your help. We're within about 70. So if you're here maybe for a first time, if you have not subscribed, we have year-round content for Padres fans. In season, out of season, postseason, regular season, year-round content. So, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Just hit the subscribe button, smash the like button for us. Jim wants 500 likes in this video.
Yeah. 500 guys.
Smash the like button.
Hit that like button.
And we appreciate your support with the super chats. Just click the $ below the chat box. We'll be here as long as we need to be tonight. Just click that $ below the chat box. A fun one tonight. Obviously, the Padres are leading the series 2-1. They win at 6-5 down at Petco. By the way, we're back at the Naughty Barrel tomorrow from 3 to 6. If you want to join us, we saw so many Padres fans, wrap-up show supporters, John and Jim supporters. We're taking photos of people. People are buying us stuff, shots.
Just random drinks are coming by, shots. It's like, what's happening right now?
Yeah. So come hang with us.
Like, thank you.
Come hang with us tomorrow.
Yeah, Naughty Barrel's a great. Naughty Barrel's the spot to be. They got great food. They got great drinks. We'll be there broadcasting from 3 to 6. So come hang out with us. Have a couple drinks before you go to Petco Park. Have some food. And yeah,
you'll thank us later.
You'll thank us later. I don't even know what else to say. Just come to the Naughty Barrel tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
Get to the Naughty Barrel, man. It could be a clincher tomorrow. It could be a clincher.
Could be
tomorrow. Iron Swan, thank you. Says Ken, go back to doing Six Flags commercials. I like that.
If you noticed, I felt pretty. I felt like, when I make graphics for this stuff, I'm always like, okay, how am I gonna make this graphic? And usually the graphic. So I made a graphic today for John and Jim. If you go back and look at it, go subscribe to our John and Jim channel as well. We do daily shows there, 3 to 6, for our radio station, San Diego Sports 760. I put in the graphic today a tiny little Ken Rosenthal. It's like a find Waldo. So
yeah, an Easter egg.
Yeah, go look for it. It's a tiny little Ken Rosenthal. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good segue to this. Joe Rossi says, I missed your radio show. So what's up with Ken Rosenthal? He wrote an article saying Manny's being Manny again. because during game 2, during the half inning, he threw a baseball. I mean, throw is even a strong word. He skipped a baseball towards the Dodger dugout, and the Dodgers basically treated it like it was the start of World War III.
Right,
Too
dude.
sharply. And then they submitted video to Major League Baseball for them to review. And then we ended up seeing video from Manny and others. And the video was utter insanity. He did nothing. He just threw the ball over to the dugout off a railing in front of a netting. And then Ken brought everything up. 2014 with the Orioles, 2018, I'm not Johnny Hustle with the Dodgers, to last night, just another example of Manny Machado being Manny. And two things can be true. Yeah, he could rally his team together in the dugout in game 2 in the 7th inning, but he's also back to being Manny Machado and whatever. I mean, what he wrote is stronger than that. And then he took shots, complete unnecessary shots at Fernando Tatis Jr., Jerks, and Profar too, just because.
Calling him a dancing peacock?
We don't even know what it means.
But I just
and
then the troll
Jerks
job.
and Profar is the guy that pulls the fire alarm and then says, "Who me?" What?
It's honestly, I don't know if he thinks this, but this is a low point of his career, the low point of his career, in my opinion. That he writes that article. I mean, even with the Scherzer stuff that he did and some other things with AJ Preller, even though I think AJ Preller at the time deserved it. And I respected Ken Rosenthal a lot. This to me, I'm kind of done. This was a coordinated hit piece. You can't tell me otherwise. He got ratioed out of his mind today.
It's crazy.
And it's not by just Padres fans. It's like a lot of people around baseball and baseball fans. The fact that he put out a narrative of that extent and, calling out the players that he called out and the things he said about those certain players, it was very interesting, the choice of words that he used to describe those 3 specific players in Manny and Toddy and Profar. Very, very interesting. That's all I'll say about that.
And then to further it, though, and the reason I actually don't take as much exception with Dave Roberts, even though everyone does, is he works for the Dodgers. So
he's supposed to do these things.
He's going to create a narrative to hopefully motivate his team. Did it work tonight? Obviously it didn't. But I will say this, if you're a Dodger fan watching us right now, and I said this today on John and Jim, just because Dave Roberts comes up with some ridiculous, I don't even know, story about what Manny Machado is trying to do by flipping a ball over to the Dodgers dugout, that doesn't mean you need to parrot that line. Yeah. Like, you can be better than that. You can root for the Dodgers, but disagree with what Dave Roberts had to say about Manny Machado, because you and I both know that what Dave Roberts said about Manny Machado is completely out of line and fake news and didn't happen. And he's trying to create something out of nothing. And then I see Dodger fans following this ridiculous path, despite watching the video evidence that suggests Manny Machado truly did nothing. And if Donovan Solano did the exact same thing at third base, nobody in the history of the world would ever know it even happened. Yeah. So you all know who you are. If you want to play that game that Manny Machado went too far with throwing the ball over to the third base dugout, you're out of your mind. If you want to be mad about the Padres and how they're playing, so be it. Yeah. But anything beyond that with the Dave Roberts line, just to me, has no credence or credibility or anything to it.
Yeah. And for the Dodgers standpoint, with all the drama that they stirred up, they had an opportunity to squash it all and to kind of take the tempers of the whole entire situation and throw water on it. Instead, Dave Roberts decided to throw gasoline on the fire. And then Ken Rosenthal decided to throw like a canister of gasoline on the fire as well. And they created this blown out of proportion, stupid narrative. They're the ones. The Padres are sitting back being like, are you kidding me? Like, post-game, there was some choice words from Manny. He was very good with his words about Jack Flaherty. And then Jack Flaherty said his stuff, and there was some cryptic stuff in there. But that was like it. I mean, honestly, going into yesterday's
press
conference, I think by the end of our show yesterday, we kind of said everything that needed to be said about the whole Jack Flaherty stuff. It was like mostly on the Dodger fans. Like, we were like, from my perspective, it was a lot of Dodger fans and Jack Flaherty. And then all of a sudden, it's just like out of nowhere, like, holy shit, mushroom cloud
Completely.
that they created, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. And in tonight's game, I think obviously it's a must-win game for both teams in the series, but this was, I feel like, more important just from a narrative standpoint for the Dodgers. If you lose this game, holy shit, dude, it's an avalanche. It feels like. Now it's not over, but it just felt like, dude, you fucked up tonight.
Yeah, no, this was a must-win game, and only one team won it. Hendrick, thank you. He says, Arise defense last 2 games.
He's been good. He's been really good.
What about Bogart's defense?
Yeah.
What about Profar? Some
Yep.
of the plays he made again here tonight. Like, what about the Padres defense being better than the Dodgers defense? What about the way the Dodgers defense played out? The horrific play by Miguel Rojas in that second inning where he thought he could get 2 and he got 0.
Mhm.
You replay that inning, and the Dodgers and Manny Machado cost the Dodgers the game, if that makes sense. Go watch that inning again. The Dodgers' defensive inabilities plus Manny Machado's headsy base running. Tatis is Tatis. He's on another planet.
Yeah.
But the reason the Dodgers lost that game is because of their shit defense and the headsy base running by Manny Machado.
Right.
Ryan, thank you. He says Joe Davis sounds like he's about to cry sometimes. I don't know if he is. I mean,
I think
Jim does a good Joe Davis if you haven't heard it.
If the Padres win tomorrow or if they win on Friday, whatever day, I will do a Joe Davis for him calling the clincher for the Padres. That's going to be interesting to hear. I just like you just know it, and you know that this sucks for him. This truly does. He does not like doing this. Do you think Don would like doing this? No. Do you think Jesse would like doing this?
No. But
No,
I mean,
it's
again,
it's not like Joe Davis was a national broadcaster for like 15 years and then just got the Dodgers job last season. He's been the Dodgers announcer since Vin Scully.
Yeah.
And so he's with this team every single day, most every single day for the season. He is a Dodger homer. That's it. And so for him, it's got to be brutal. And it's even more brutal, I think, for Dodger fans if they have to hear Joe Davis call the Padres potentially, advancing over the Dodgers here if they win tomorrow night.
Did not he do that? Didn't he do that in 2022? Joe Davis was on the call of the NLDS. That was his first year as the Fox National.
But Adam Amin called game 5, John.
But it was a 4-game series.
Or sorry, Adam Amin called game 4.
Right.
He did not. Joe Davis did not call game 4. I remember that because it's like literally imprinted in my mind. Adam Amin having an amazing call for the Cronenworth single up the middle.
Okay, fair. Jesse, can we get some clap emojis
Jesse
in the chat? This is from earlier. We're catching up on the supers. We're going to get to them all. I promise. Don't go anywhere. Settle in. Grab a drink. You got the adrenaline.
Back,
we all have adrenaline.
Lay
It's 10 o'clock.
down.
Relax.
We're with you guys.
Relax. You got work tomorrow. You get 1 hour less of sleep. Whatever. You're on cloud 9. The Padres are up 2-1. They have a chance to win a series tomorrow at Petco Park. Jesse, thank you so much for your longtime support of the channel. Seriously. He says, in my opinion, the game was managed great, and it was. King bounced back after the grand slam, and then the bullpen did their job. I really love this team. I think San Diego feels the same way, Jesse. I really do. I think it's a special group no matter what happens from here on out. I think it's a special group that will be remembered in San Diego for what they've meant to this city, and hopefully they can finish it off the quote-unquote right way. But Shildt's been great. Let's be honest. I mean, Mike Shildt has just done a phenomenal job with this team. Behind the scenes, on field, in-game decisions, by and large, it's worked out very well. By and large, we've forgotten about game 1 and pitching to Shohei Ohtani and some of the decisions he made there because they now lead the series 2-1. And Mike Shildt deserves a lot of credit for where this team is right now.
Yeah, I know that I had problems with Mike Shildt earlier in the season. We went really hard at Mike Shildt, but it was never about the on-field stuff. I can't remember a show that we had this year, either John and Jim or Wrap Up, where we were just destroying Mike Shildt for a managerial decision. We kind of destroyed him game 1, to be honest with you, and that was probably the hardest we've gone at Mike Shildt. Definitely. Everything that I didn't like about the Mike Shildt was like the things he was saying after games when they would lose 5 in a row or lose 7-1 or give up a lead or whatever the case may be. Now, looking back on it, hindsight's 2020, and you say, all right, Mike Shildt knew what he was doing for sure. Like, but nobody knew. Nobody knew that at 50-50, this team would rip off the best second half in baseball and one of the best second halves in franchise history and be a win away from the NLCS. Like, nobody knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And so credit to Mike Shildt. And the second half was masterful. Everything that has snowballed. And it's funny because listening to Jake Cronenworth postgame before we got on here.
Yeah, he was so quiet. Why did he was like sounded like he
probably
was
in
in
a
a
back
library
room or something. But I forget who asked him, maybe Big Papi or Derek Jeter. They asked him about the clubhouse and the team aspect of it. And Jake said something that I thought was interesting. He said, you know, the closeness and the family vibe of this team didn't start in the offseason. It just magically happened during the year, and it just kind of snowballed into how close we are now as a team and as a group. And I thought that was interesting. And that to me tells me that it maybe took a little bit. And by their record, it shows like they were 50-50. And once it clicked in a big way. And they created this culture and they created this clubhouse and they created this vibe and togetherness and closeness as a group that right now kind of makes them feel a little unstoppable. Again, got to pick up one more win. Job's not finished. But I mean, Jake said it just kind of organically happened during the season. And those are the best types of things to have it happen organically. You never want to force anything.
Yeah. You know how you have that happen? You come back from 8 runs down, you
Yeah.
come back from 5 runs down,
Right.
you have a closer like Robert Suarez in the first half of the year, you acquire Luis Ariz, you acquire Dylan Cease, so on and so forth. John, thank you for the super chat. We're going to catch up here, guys. So we appreciate your patience and thank you for your support of the channel. We're going to get to 7,500 subscribers with your help. If you have not subscribed to the channel, we have year-on content.
We're 50 away, guys.
50 subscribers away. Are we going to get to 500 likes while we're here live tonight, Jim, potentially on this video?
Potentially. I think we're going to make a run for it, guys. I mean, we are definitely we're less than 50 likes away from 500. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're 50 away from 7,500 subs on this channel. We all appreciate you. We thank you. We love you. Over 1,000 of you watching right now. And you guys are the best.
Whether it's your first day or this is your 500th time here, thank you for your support of the channel. We've been doing it on YouTube for about 3.5 years, 5+ years overall with the wrap-up show on radio or YouTube. John, thank you. He says, just got back from Doyers territory. They want Dave's head for not saying anything. I don't know, seemed legal to me. Also, Alfaro with the first pitch, LFGSD. Okay, we're talking about Roberts absolutely has to come out there and argue that.
What was he doing?
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if anything's going to come of it because it's a subjective, non-reviewable umpire decision. Now, maybe they all confer and something happens, but you've got nothing to lose and you're just sitting there dumbfounded.
Yeah.
When the game ultimately is decided on a play like that. I mean, you basically didn't contest the biggest play of the game. Like you didn't contest what led to the biggest inning in Padres postseason history just because. And by the way, you probably had merit to contest it, but they didn't even, we're good. We're not going to
sometimes, and you know this, sometimes things are for show. Even if Dave Roberts knew that him going out there and arguing would result in nothing, sometimes you got to do it for show. Sometimes you maybe have to do it to fire up your team, to light a candle or whatever, to make your team kind of get out of its sleepiness. And that was an opportunity for Dave to do that. Now the 6 runs didn't score then, but I believe at that moment, what was the score of that game?
It was 1-0 Dodgers.
1-0 Dodgers. So again, there's no full damage done yet. But at the same time, it's only 1-0 lead. You got to go out there, and I feel like you got to show. You got to show for your team. You got to show for your fan. You got to show, even if you know you're not going to get that overturned. You can't just sit back and just let the game happen like that. You got to Show some fight, bro. Stop being so soft.
And
Show some
also, like,
fight.
Freddie Freeman, like, I'm surprised he wasn't. I don't even know what happened. Thankfully, it worked out perfectly for the Padres, and
Thankfully.
the Dodgers
Yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, we're good."
Yeah, they're fine.
Franz, thank you for your support of the channel with the super chat. He says the hashtag LFGSD man himself throwing first pitch was good vibes. Great game today, and the crowd was wild. I hope Manny is okay. Do it for Peter. Yeah, we haven't talked about that. So Manny had like his knee buckle in an AB in the 8th inning. Now he stayed in the game, and it's Manny freaking Machado. But and then they were like, I don't know, the
Knee or
athletic training staff
calf?
was working. They were working on his calf and lower leg. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. It's Manny Machado, so I can't be overly concerned. You're going to have to like take Manny Machado. The cliche would be off on a stretcher, and that's probably true with Manny at this point
Like
in the
pry my
season.
dead body off of this field.
Yeah, and do it for Peter. Spot on. Spot on.
I think, and I haven't seen what Manny said. I'm sure maybe he talked
I'm
about
sure
it.
he says he's fine.
I would probably bet it's more like what happened with Bogarts with a cramp. You know, I mean, the adrenaline is so high, guys, that these dudes probably just need IVs every half inning.
True.
And
yeah,
I think if he said cramps, did he say cramps post game?
Okay, there we go.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I felt like.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw him rubbing the calf there, I'm like, okay, yeah, cramps makes sense.
Yeah, he's fine. Chucky D, thank you. Says, say it with me. Cease will shove.
Cease will shove.
From your super chat to tomorrow, Petco. Can we start game 4 right after the wrap up show? Hashtag FU little Kenny. Listen, game 4 is not going to start that much after the wrap up show. I mean, you got a 6 p.m. first pitch.
You mean John
on
and Jim?
Wednesday? So soon.
You mean John and Jim? Oh, sorry.
No, well,
After
yeah, it's going to
this
start after
wrap-up
John
show.
Jim, but it's not going to start that far after the wrap up show. We'll be about 18 hours out by the time we wrap up. Von Schlief, thank you for the support of the channel. He says we're smoking on that Bueller pack. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that they hit Bueller. Like the last time they faced Bueller, it was a 5-inning 1-run outing by Bueller. It was a very soft outing though. So I'm not surprised they hit him tonight.
Yeah, no, either. And I'm not surprised Fernando Tatis Jr. hit him his 5th career home run off him.
Yeah.
David, thank you for your support of the channel by becoming a member. If you want to become a member and support the channel, you can click the join button down below. We have custom emojis and badges for you. So if you want to become a member, support the channel, get more content, you can do that by clicking the join button down below. Ryan, thank you for your support of the channel. He says, I give a lot of credit to AJ today. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons we won, but without the trades, we'd be using Matsui, etc. Don't think we'd win. Oh, great point. I mean, look at the bullpen before the trade deadline, the bullpen after the deadline. They talked about it on TV obsessively. You're not in this position, let alone in this position, without the Adams and the Scotts of the world. You're just not.
No. Estrada was the best he's looked this postseason by far. Jason Adam continues to look great. Tanner Scott continues to look great. I was a little worried when they took him out after Freeman there and they brought in Suarez for a 4-out save. I'm like, I don't know about this one. It was an interesting one, but I wasn't going to say I hated the move until we see what happened. And Robert Suarez looks like vintage Robert Suarez tonight. Tonight, he looked like vintage Robert Suarez. And the biggest key so far is he has 3 appearances in the postseason, 0 runs allowed. 0. So that's all that matters with Robert Suarez. 0, John. 0. He's allowed 0 runs so far. If Robert Suarez is back like that, blowing guys away, that was probably the most swing and miss stuff he's had in 2 months.
A month or 2, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, throwing changeups, like dotting changeups and blowing guys away with fastballs up in the zone over 100. Like, we haven't seen that in over 3 months.
Yeah, that's working with some real adrenaline tonight. I mean, clearly, how could you not have it with that crowd? We're going to get back to the Super Chats in a moment. We do want to remind our viewers about our great friends at Mova Globes, and they've been with us since about May, and since they've been with us, the Padres have been among the best teams, if not the best team in baseball. If you want one, pick them up by clicking the link in the description down below, and make sure to use promo code PWS10. You like the pregnant pause? Promo code PWS10. That's PWS10. Get 10% off. Click the link in the description down below. They have all 30 Major League teams officially licensed. They spin automatically with artificial or natural light. It is a great gift idea for the baseball fan in your life. Great for a home or work office. Your family's going to love them. They're spectacular products. They really are. In addition to MLB globes, they've got many other globes for you as well. So click that link in the description down below. Support the channel. Use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off. Who doesn't want a Padres MOVA globe for the postseason? Available now by clicking that link. Look at that thing.
Mm-hmm. Get one for a family member. Buy one as a gift. Buy one for yourself. Get one today. PWS10 is the promo code. MOVA globes. We love MOVA globes. Shout out to Michael. I'm sure you're in the chat as well, buddy.
What's up, Michael?
Get one today, promo code, and the link is in the description below.
This is accurate, Hendrick. This is accurate. And thank you, guys. Please subscribe. Year-round content for Padres fans. And thank you for the supers. We'll get to all of them, like this one from Hendrick. Just click the $sign below the chat box. He says, at the height of Suarez struggling, Shildt said they would look at it. He stuck with them and trusted him with the 4-out save in a 1-run game. Shildt, man, if nothing else, he's loyal, isn't he?
Oh, that's the one thing that I was like harping on in the beginning of the season, that he's maybe too loyal. Like, guys are struggling and you're like, Shildt, can we hold a little accountability, please? And the loyalty only works if the player pays it off. Like, he can be loyal to a fault, but if the player doesn't go out and perform, then the loyalty means nothing. It just doesn't. I mean, Suarez could have gone out there tonight and he could have give up a couple runs and blew the game, and we're all destroying Shildt tonight, and Shildt would have still been loyal to Suarez, and it would have meant nothing. The loyalty only means something when the guy goes out and performs. Now, again, that kind of feels like a robotic answer because we have to realize these are people. And I think looking at that aspect of it, the loyalty does probably mean a lot and gives these guys a lot of confidence, knowing that if they do go out there and they mess up, that they're not going to be immediately like benched or their role is going to be taken away or whatnot. I mean, you have to think from a real person standpoint. Loyalty means a lot, and it's proving it right in front of our eyes. Robert Suarez tonight looked fantastic. Hopefully he's out there tomorrow with a chance to save the game as well, because that means the Padres are leading. And yes, exactly what's going to happen if they have a 1-run lead.
Keith, thank you for your support with the super chat. He says, John, where did you get the cap you're wearing? Go Padres. This is one of the Parks and Normal caps that I often wear. Jim's got one too. Parks and Normal. Jim's got one that is not worn the way mine is worn. I mean, this puppy, look at this thing. Greg Vaughn, Caminiti. Yeah, this thing's beautiful. Tony Gwynn, Trevor, 98. Look at that. I mean, hey, hopefully it's a good omen. The 98 kind of quasi patch. Look at this. Jim's putting one on too. Look at it. We're twins, man. Does that fit your head? It does.
You look a little better than I do.
Thank you.
I have a couple other ones. I like this. This one's pretty
Let me see.
cool.
Yeah, what else you got? There's Parks Normal.
There's a Parks and Normal.
That's the modern Parks Normal Manny and Toddy.
This
one have to change the size.
Yeah, my head's a little too big for that. That's a little tight on me.
Maybe one more.
That's a little tight. That's a little tight.
One more.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
Check them out, parksandnormal.com. Great company, San Diego based.
Okay.
Big time Padre fans.
There we go. I don't look that great in it.
No.
I like my 90. I like my 98 snapback. It just fits. I love the 98 color, and you know,
we both wore navy today. I wore a navy Padres cap earlier today.
Yeah, I love the 98. It's Tony's favorite jersey of all time, and because it reminded me of the Yankees pinstripes. Padres jerseys are so great, but
yeah, and 98, man. Color. Hey, let's have a
good vibes, bro.
And get to World Series. Yeah. Grit Squad, thank you for your support of the channel. He says, let's give some love to Shella Jerry. Electric.
Oh, Robert Suarez.
Okay.
No, not Robert Suarez. Jeremiah Estrada.
Okay,
that's what it is.
Greater. Yeah. Great sixth inning. Great sixth inning.
Oh my God, he looked fantastic.
Was terrific.
He struck out.
The
second out strikeout. He was just. You could tell that his adrenaline was through the fucking roof.
No doubt. Padres Pain, thank you. He says just got home way louder than 2022 divisional series LFGST. It looked it. It really did. It looked it. with the towels in the air and the vibes and all the small things. And I mean, it was epic. It was an epic scene down there, and to cap it off with a win makes it even more epic. Scott, thank you for your support of the channel. This is a great show. I normally listen to the podcast. Thank you, PS and AJ, Peter and AJ, for building this in San Diego. Seriously, man, considering some of the shit ownership the city has had in other sports like NBA with Donald Sterling or NFL with Dean Spanos, to have this happen here with this organization we should feel pretty fortunate and blessed to be here for this, because it hasn't always been like this, even with this baseball team over the last 56 years.
And credit where credit's due. I mean, AJ, this was a big year for him, and he did not get the vote of confidence from Eric Casenda in spring training. He was on thin ice, I think, and he went out there and he just absolutely, now we can say it because we've seen what's happened so far. He's put on a masterclass. Like, I kind of maybe was a little joking about it, like, masterclass, we got to see it. But now looking back on it, and we've said this a lot, like, we'll judge him after the season ends, or at least we'll judge him when you get to the postseason or whatnot. Because once you get to the postseason, there's nothing else he can do. He's done it all. Like, he's made the moves, he signed the players, he's done the transactions. Like, now it's just, you got to go out there and play and perform. But this season has been by far and away his best season, including the offseason. Every move he's made has worked, and credit where credit's due. He deserves all the credit for what has transpired this year with this team.
Listen to this stat that's just been published by Opta Stats.
I love Opta Stats.
Yeah, it's great. Major League researchers. Yeah. Tonight, the Padres gave up a grand slam, only scored in one inning, didn't score after the second inning. No other team in Major League Baseball history has done all of that and yet won a game, regular or postseason.
Dude, this team is doing things that, like, no other team has ever done in the sport.
Literally. I mean,
like, every day.
No team in regular or postseason history, think about how many games that is, folks, 150 years, has given up a grand slam, only scored in one inning, and not scored after a second inning, and won a game ever. Regular season, postseason. And the Padres did it tonight in Game 3 of the NLDS against the LA Dodgers. That happened.
I mean, yeah, I saw in the chat someone said it's wild that the Padres gave up a grand slam and still won the game.
And this is the second time this postseason they've been out-homered in one. That's a rarity alone. Typically, when you get out-homered in a game, you're going to lose, 65% of the time, if not more. And they've done that multiple times now in the postseason.
And they've outscored the Dodgers 16-7 in the last two games. I know Marty loves the outscoring number. Like, oh, they outscored them this amount to this amount in the series. So far, the last two games, 16-7. Pretty good. And I feel
overall, what if they outscored them then 21-14 in the series?
Now, here's the thing. Oh, sorry, I get to the super chat. My bad.
Carson, thank you. He says, in a way, Suarez's struggles help put the pressure on, adding that changeup late in the season, which looks great. Yeah, he did need to add the secondary pitch that he would at least trust in to give batters something to think about other than his straight fastball. And then Carson says, Jim, congratulations on the wedding. Did you get married?
I did get married. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, what was your point?
Oh, I was gonna say tomorrow with the bullpen day for the Dodgers. Besides the last couple innings there off of Dodger relievers that will never be in the game in a high leverage situation, they haven't scored off the main guys in the Dodgers bullpen.
Correct.
And that to me is a little bit of a problem. Like,
is it though?
Well, if you're having a bullpen day, you better.
But bullpen day, we're going to see 7 relievers minimum.
Well, you better create a little bit of chaos there to make it stressful. Like, you can't just like have them throw out 9 different relievers and not have any stress on anybody. Like,
well, they're going to stress someone.
They have to. Like, they have to figure out a way early on to stress that bullpen, because if you get through the first like 4 innings and you haven't put a run up on the board, that to me is scary.
I agree with that. But I'm going to trust in Dylan Cease also be better than he was
I do too. I think he will be much better. I do not think he will look like he did in game one. I think he'll be much better. The adrenaline's going to be his best friend tomorrow. He probably is going to feel a lot of it on Thursday once it starts over with. But I think the adrenaline will carry him through. And that's another reason why it's so smart to have him pitch on 3 days rest, is because the crowd will give him all the life that he needs on a regular Tuesday in, September. Yep. Probably not. Sure. But game 4 of a National League Division Series, you have a chance to clinch and move to the NLCS. He's going to feel completely fine tomorrow. And I feel like he's good to go for 80 to 95 pitches.
Vicious Pac-Man, I'm not exactly sure what this means, but thank you for the...
Crucify me. That's fucking go San Diego.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you, man, for your support of the channel. Kale appreciates you. He says, are you worried about Cease tomorrow on short notice? No, I don't think it's short notice. I just think it's short rest. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were planning for this all along, but I don't think it's short notice. Wouldn't you agree with that, Jim? I don't think they told Cease after tonight, hey, you got the ball tomorrow. I think they told him after his last start, hey, here's what we're thinking. Game 4 is a possibility. Why or why not? What are you thinking? So I credit Dylan Cease for taking the ball on 3 days rest, trying to win a series too. And then you always have Yu Darvish. If this doesn't go perfectly, if you don't win this game, you're playing a good team, you still have Yu Darvish.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
we're trying to bring on a special guest right now. Wait. Okay. So Friday is already set up for you, where Darvish will be on full rest and he'll be ready to go. That's a different story for the Dodgers. Who are they going to choose, Flaherty or Yamamoto?
Yeah, but if they can get there, you know what I mean? It's like, man,
they'll feel fine about it. They don't care.
If they can get there.
That's a problem that they will gladly take right now. They will gladly take the problem.
Dodger Stadium, back home.
Yeah, like that's why tomorrow, I mean, you're up 3-2-1 and you're like, oh, it's not a true must-win game. No, dude, you do not want this team to go back to the Dodger Stadium. That's exactly how we all felt in 2022, and they were down 3-0 in the 7th, and you're like, holy shit, this is going 5. This is going back to Dodger Stadium. And that was a scenario that you did not want to have. Same thing applies here. You do not want to go back to Dodger Stadium. Just end it tomorrow. Send these guys home, packing with some Charmin soft toilet paper, and move on.
Let me get to this from Kevin. Thank you. He says, entire front wave arena went off when the Padres won. There was a exhibition game between 2 NBA teams tonight in San Diego, yet it didn't get much coverage because of obviously the Padres playing the Dodgers in the NLDS tonight. But yeah, Clippers and Nets basically, I don't know, debuting Front Wave Arena. It's been open for a couple of weeks, but that happened in Oceanside tonight. But Kevin, that's cool. That's very cool. Thank you for stopping by and hope you had a good time. And thank you for your support of the channel. Robert, thank you for your super sticker. We appreciate your support of the channel. JD Gaucho, let me get to this. He says, did you see the Mets cinnamon bun egg roll? Jim sees everything. Is this a postseason food item?
I did, yeah.
Of course you saw this.
I did see that, yeah.
And did it look good?
Looked amazing. Of course it did.
Okay. Thank you. Germer 0020, thank you. He says, hopefully we only have to have Cease go 5. I don't think Cease has to go 5, truthfully. I don't think he has to go 5 with this bullpen. Nobody was overly taxed here tonight. I think if he went 4. 5. What's that?
Said I would like 5 innings.
5 would be great. But I mean, on 3 days rest, if he went 4 innings, and I'm making this up, gave up 3 runs and you led 4-3, you can at least think you're in decent position with a lead, and you got to cover 5 innings, but you're playing for a series, you know?
All you ask tomorrow is that whenever Cease leaves the game, you have the lead.
Exactly. Hopefully not in the first inning, but yeah.
Right. You don't want to leave the game in the second inning up 2-1. Right. That's not ideal. But I think minimum 4.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, shit. I mean, 5 might be tops, but if you get 5 out of Cease and he leaves with the lead, I feel very good. Very good.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Rocket, appreciate you, man. He says, keep poking the hornet's nest and not expecting to get stung. It's baffling what the Dodgers' mental approach is against the Dodgers this series. Baffling what the Dodgers' mental approach?
Like against the Padres, you mean?
Or just that the Dodgers are in their own heads, or they're trying to be someone that they're not. I do think that has some validity. that if the Dodgers are trying to play the Padres game, they're not going to win playing that. When Max Muncy says, "Oh, we see the bat flips on singles," and Dave Roberts says, "Oh, we know what the intent of Manny Machado." Guys, you can't play that game as well as the Padres are playing that game. You want to make it personal with San Diego? Good luck. So I don't know if that's what he's trying to say, but if so, I agree with it. Rocket follows up by saying, "Oh, he did say, by the way, it's baffling what the Dodgers' mental approach is against the Padres." Mental approach against the Padres.
I would think that it wasn't their approach, it's just like their mindset. And it was mostly a mindset that's based off of, look at those guys, look what they're doing. They're bad. They're the villains. They're bad, 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 bad. Like, huh? Like,
right.
I have yet to seen one instance where the Dodgers are like, we need to be better. We need to be a lot better. It's not about what they do. It's about what we do. We have to focus on ourselves. We don't care about what they're doing. If they make a big play and they celebrate, it doesn't matter. We got to go out there and make sure that those things don't happen. And we have to go out and play a clean game tomorrow, plain and simple. But that's not who they are. They're a team of like, woe is me. Look at what they're doing. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe they're doing that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. SGL Stevens, thank you. He says the crowd was so the 10th man on the field. Yeah, I love that. I mean, the crowd is so revved up. It's the Dodgers. This team is so special. They played so well in the second half of the season. They rolled through Atlanta. They're back home after getting game 2. And crowd earned this. I mean, the team earned this, having a crowd like this behind them. But the crowd earned this because, I mean, I just think about some of these lean years, man, and to see the support that they get even in the lean years, it makes these even more rewarding.
Yeah, dude. I mean, covering this team through some shitty years.
Yeah.
And
but even last year, though.
Even last year, yeah. I mean, and being there every single day, having to try to pump up guys that probably shouldn't be on a major league roster. And, just talking about the constant losing season after losing season and bad baseball after bad baseball, to now being able to really try and, celebrate this team and talk about a winner. It's so much more fun to celebrate and talk about and cover a winning team.
It's the best.
It's not even close. I mean, there's probably people out there who are like, you just are negative. All you like is the negative, negative, negative. Like, dude,
we'll take this every day of the week.
I don't like the negative. It's like, yeah, it is something that when I see something negative, it's like, do I point it out? Absolutely, I do. But I would take this 7 out of 7 days of the week, no questions asked, dude. This is not even. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, this is so fun. I mean,
oh my God.
I mean, this is just, again, because if you're a Padres fan and you've been through some of those lean years, you know that this isn't an every other year occurrence. There's organizations that have played in a lot of divisional series and championship series. That's not the Padres' history. So to be here now, enjoying this team in this moment, and Fernando Tatis Jr. said a postgame with Joe Davis and John Smoltz said, like, it's beautiful to be in San Diego right now. You've heard Tatis say that a lot recently. Like, he's like whoever the head coach of the Broncos was years ago, and the reporter on the sideline, he's having the time of his life. That's what Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing right now with the Padres. And I think that's what Padres fans are doing right now with this team as well. Every so often, thank you. He says, LFGSD just got home. Dave Roberts' Bush League. I don't even know what to say about Dave Roberts.
I don't know.
It was, yeah, that's for another day.
Yeah, I
like, I need this series to be over to fully comment on Dave Roberts, because I don't
commented a lot.
Exactly. I don't want to go too far on it until the series is over, because it's not over.
Yeah, I think hopefully if this series ends the way that we all want it to end, yeah, we'll say more about that later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kyle, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Guys,
thanks,
by the
Kyle.
way, if you are here right now, and nearly 1,000 of you are, and maybe you haven't heard us say this as of yet, we'd love to get to 7,500 subscribers with your help, and we are 35 away.
Let's go.
So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, you scratch our back, and we'll keep talking about the Padres. So please subscribe.
You scratch our back, we'll say,
I mean,
so
you know us guys. I mean, we do this on a Tuesday night in May when they lose 6-1 to the Rockies. And we're going to do this for 2+ hours every single post game in the postseason, which is what we've done so far, I think. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, we are here for you year round, in season and out of season. And also smash that like button. And thank you for the super chats like this one from Kyle, who says, "You guys are the best in San Diego. See you at Naughty tomorrow." That is super kind. We appreciate you saying that. Naughty Barrel, please join us and please say hello. Even if we're on the air, give us a fist bump, take a photo.
Yeah.
People are buying us drinks today.
Yeah, dude. We got all of a sudden a margarita and kombucha just sent our way. We had no idea who sent it. If you're watching and you sent it, thank you. But yeah, I mean, we had
peanut butter shots. Or not
we haven't had. I mean, and I said the other night, like, yeah, not all Dodger fans are the worst thing ever. We had Mikey. I think Mikey. He was a Dodger fan, and he brought over some peanut butter whiskey shots, which were delicious.
Strong.
Very strong, but I liked it. It was very good. It gave me a little like pep to my step during the broadcast. Yeah, come on and hang out, dude. Come on by. We had the speakers blaring. We got the show on. Well, maybe the speakers blaring.
And maybe the show on.
Maybe the show on. But if you can't make it, we're on YouTube on John and Jim. So watch our show tomorrow, John and Jim. Subscribe to that channel as well. We almost at 2,400 subs on that channel. And let's get ready for game 4, man. Get ready for game 4. Do you guys want to hear my story about tonight in the ticket for the game?
Yeah, but I want to. Can we tease that?
Yeah, if you want. I mean, I see a bunch of people like, Jim, did you get in the game? Did you get in the game?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
So if you don't know, during John and Jim, you brought up, dude, tickets are only like $150. This is for
like 200.
Well, first you said $150 for Gallagher Square. My ears perked up, and I'm like, that's it? So during the last part of the show, which was, again, the worst thing to do, about 45 minutes until first pitch, go on StubHub, look for some tickets. They're dropping. I find some for like $180, and I purchased them. And this was like right after, and I didn't see this, was like right after the Padres sent out a tweet saying that Ticketmaster was having like major technical difficulties.
Right.
And no, Rich, we do not get press passes. That's a whole different story.
I mean, we have.
We're not Ken Rosenthal blackball, but it's just there's a favoritism.
In the postseason is a little tough at this point.
Postseason, they got to take care of the randos, and they got to take care even, people that don't cover the team for some reason, and they have to give every credential, to the flagship. So it's whatever. Anyway, so I buy tickets like $160, $70 a pop. Seats, not Gallagher Square, seats.
Right.
And I get the confirmation email at like 5:30, maybe before that, 5:30, saying like, okay, you got your tickets. Now you have to get another email to download your tickets to get in the game. So for the last half hour of the show, I didn't pay attention one bit because I'm just like refreshing my phone nonstop, waiting for these tickets to show up. They're not showing up. They're not showing up. Aaron is going back and forth to the house to feed our dog, and I feel so bad because she got an Uber there, an Uber back, and that's not cheap. She gets back around 6:00. You've left, and still nothing on my phone. I still do not get any email and this is my transaction gone through. I look at my bank statement, like it's pending, like everything is ready to go. I'm waiting. I go to Petco. I talk to the ticket person, and I'm like, look, I bought these tickets, and this is what happened. And they're like, we'll go talk to the ticket people around the corner. So I talk to the people around the corner, and it's like, this is right after Mookie hit the home run. I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is a bad idea if I get in this ballpark, because then it'll be all my fault if we lose this game. Talk to the ticket people, and they look at my ticket, and they're like, yeah, it's from so-and-so, but you haven't got it transferred yet? I'm like, no. And like, well, we can't help you because it's StubHub. I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. So I call StubHub. That was like a 25, 30-minute fiasco. I'm watching the game. We're at a bar, and I can barely hear this person because the bar's going crazy. And this was right at the start of the bottom of the second inning when they scored 6 runs. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm talking to this woman and I can barely hear her, understand her. Long story short, I ended up getting a refund for the tickets. I never went,
Good.
but I got a refund.
Are we going tomorrow? Wait, let me go to StubHub after all that.
I mean, it was a joke. I can't believe that my tickets never came through. I bought my tickets. They never came through. And I was pissed about it because I missed an amazing game in person.
Dude, it's 2:30 for Gallagher Square, and it's 3:19 for Section 326.
See, I bought it Section 319 for like 180 today.
We'll drop an hour out, but
that's a risky play because of what happened today is that they just never came through because Ticketmaster and StubHub just like shit itself. So I'm like, dude, what the? It pissed me off because Aaron, we were ready to go. We were all ready to go.
I know.
And I was, dude, and the instant download just didn't happen because the tickets never arrived. I kept refreshing my thing and they fucked me. I called them and they're like, yeah, your ticket hasn't been sent yet. And then I got an email finally like an hour and a half later saying like, oh, sorry, the person that you purchased tickets from is not able to deliver your tickets. And I'm like,
oh, great. Awesome.
That's great.
Super.
Oh, it's great. It's the fourth inning. And you're telling me that now?
So if someone here wants to take me and Jim tomorrow, the more of the stories you can do that. Just
look, if anybody wants to take us to the game tomorrow, we'll pay. If you have like actual tickets, we don't have to deal with StubHub. We'll definitely go.
Yeah, we'll go.
Around $200 a ticket.
Yeah. Reality check. Thank you. No comment, but thank you for your support of the channel.
No comment.
But thank you. Rafa, how about Crony finally hitting some pitches? Yeah, we talked about earlier. A couple of hits, a couple of meaningful hits in this game. Scored a run. Part of that 6-run rally for the Padres in the second inning. We knew it was going to come. Sample sizes are so damn short in the postseason that there's a lot of overreaction. Understood, because you can be in or out very quickly in the postseason. But with time, things have a way of sorting themselves out. Michael, thank you. He says, any inside scoop on if the Padres banned Ken Rosenthal from the dugout? We don't know the particulars at this point, but he wasn't in their dugout.
I don't know the exact particulars. I had someone text me that it did like there's something going on there.
There's 100% something going on there.
And yeah, I think we can say without a doubt he got blackballed for tonight. I don't know about the rest of the series, the rest of the postseason, but tonight at least, Rosenthal got blackballed from the Padres dugout and any interviews with players. And I
had to happen.
Don't blame them one bit. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and if you haven't read the article at The Athletic, find the article at The Athletic, and your jaw will drop if you haven't heard about it or seen it or read it. Your jaw will drop.
Unbelievable.
OB1 Classic, thank you for the generous super of the channel. He says, did anyone else notice how broadcast cut away from Nando for 1 second just to not show him do his iconic skip before rounding third base? Their bias is so blatant. They missed it because I think they're just not – I think they just missed it. I think the director just missed it. I don't think it was their intent. I think they're all for Fernando Tatis Jr., Fox. I think they're more for Shohei Ohtani. But I think they're all for displaying Fernando Tatis Jr.'s heroics. I just think they screwed it up in real time.
Yeah, I was pissed, Sean. I was very pissed. I mean, Aaron was not happy with me. I was raging.
From down
like I don't think there's any bias there. I mean, Tatis is, if he's going to continue this postseason, dude's hitting what? I mean, listen to these numbers, guys. Listen to these numbers with Fernando Tatis Jr. this postseason. It's fucking bonkers. 5 games. All right. In 5 games, he is hitting .556 with 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and an OPS of 1,968 or 1,969.
Mm-hmm. Is that good?
Are you serious right now? His postseason, by the way, John, his postseason in his career, 40 at-bats. Not a small sample size. 40 at-bats in the postseason. He's hitting .425 with 6 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a 1,500 OPS.
12 RBIs in 11 games?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's right. He's amazing. I mean, you're right. Through 40 ABs, he's one of the most clutch hitters in the history of postseason baseball. Again, 40 ABs isn't 400, but yeah, it's a sample size. You're right. Talon, thank you. He says at least LA has the Spanos Clown Show. Hashtag beat LA.
Who's that?
Yeah, who? Yeah, who? Keaton, thank you. He says, I was at the Dodgers game Sunday. Unsafe scene. I had to leave
It
my
always is
seat.
Dodger Stadium.
Fans yelled to throw at Padres' heads, then acted on it. Ken spun it into a Manny hit piece, but story should be the fans are shit. Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't really go there wearing Padres stuff in the postseason, truthfully.
That parking lot, and I've heard some horror stories. I mean, that parking lot is a dangerous place. Dangerous.
So are the bleachers.
Bleachers are dangerous, but more so the parking lot. That parking lot, if you are wearing opposing team's colors, especially if it's like Giants or now Padres gear, I mean, you better be ready to go. I think, I would honestly not wear any if I went to a Dodger game as a wearing
I would
Padres
just wear
gear,
like a sweatshirt.
I would make sure that going to my car and going from my car to the stadium, no Padres gear was showing. Because I don't want anybody to know what my car looks like. I don't want anybody following me. I don't want any of that. And it's not all Dodger fans. I'm not saying that's every single Dodger fan, but there's a good amount in that parking lot at some of the worst times where that's a dangerous place.
Yeah, it's stupidity. Honestly, I mean, what happened with Profar, what happened with the baseballs, what happened with Tatis. I mean, it was stupidity. It really was. Talent, thank you again. He says San Diego fans must chant beat LA tomorrow. I think they were doing it tonight. I think they were doing. I mean, they were doing
that. Yeah,
they were doing it after Game 2 of the Atlanta series.
Right.
Bring on LA, essentially. Beat LA. Brandon, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super. He says he's a lifelong Padres fan. These crowds at Petco the past few years have been great to see. I relocated to Oregon in 2020. I've missed the excitement of Petco, but wrap-up show has kept connected to the San Diego community, LFGSD. Now, we met someone today that was in from Portland.
Was that you, Brandon?
Well, I don't know if it was or not, but we met someone down at Naughty Barrel that said, hey, I watch you guys all the time from Portland, which was super cool, but appreciate that, Brandon. And yeah, that's the beauty of this. We see some of the metrics. We have people obviously watching in Mexico, Canada, overseas, but you see people in there's people in Nashville. There's people watch every day in Atlanta because they're transplants. They grew up Padres fans. Their job has taken them out. Their lives have taken them out of San Diego, but they're still watching, intently watching. So it's always good to connect with people that are Padres fans that aren't here in Southern California. So thank you for that. Keaton, appreciate it. He says it was my B-day. Happy birthday. And seeing Dodger fans next to me crying with their blue towels over their head like brown paper bags was best birthday present ever.
Yeah.
It looked like a great Padres crowd, by the way. I mean, I saw a little bit of blue, but it looked like about a 99% Padre crowd, 98%.
You know what was wild is when we were outside Petco and we were watching from the closest bar. The TVs were way behind. Like,
oh yeah, so you hear everything, yeah.
Like 3 pitches behind. And the ballpark was going ape shit. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And like it was like the ground was like shaking outside of Petco when Tatis hit that 2-run homer. I mean, it was literally shaking. It was nuts, dude. You could hear it from blocks away. Petco Park going fucking bonkers.
Yep, that is amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Keaton, again, happy birthday, man.
Put
some happy birthdays maybe in the chat if you're here live or on replay. Steve, thank you. He says cease no hitter tomorrow. Okay, it'd be good.
Okay,
it'd be good. The second of the year.
Would you take that, John?
Yeah, I would take that. Third ever postseason no hitter behind Don Larson and Roy Halladay. I would take that. I would take that. Every so often, thank you. He says also Kyle Higmeister still producing. Guy's been awesome.
What did he do tonight? He had the sack. I'm sorry, I probably didn't see it because I was going running around. What did he do tonight? He had the RBI. How did he get that RBI? Was sack fly or sack fly? Yeah, it was
He had a sack fly in that 6-run inning, which is good. I mean, he's been great as a 9-hitter. He's been awesome. JD Gotcha, thank you. Says Joe Davis didn't do the Padres Dodgers 2022 NLDS. Yes, he did the NLCS. Thank you. And World Series. He'll be fine.
But that's fine if he's doing it with 2 random teams that he's not the announcer for.
Sure.
it's like I don't have this huge problem with Joe Davis announcing games. I don't like when Joe Davis, who's the Dodgers home announcer, announcing Dodgers playoff games in the NLDS. You have no choice in the NLCS and the World Series because he's the number one guy. Like, there's no choice. But NLDS, you could have easily had Adam Amin on it call, who's, I think, fantastic.
Adam Amin is very good. I mean, this is a Fox call. They're paying Joe Davis to be their primary play-by-play guy.
And it's the Padres Dodgers, so they're going to have the number one crew.
They're going to have the number one crew, and that's what they chose. Does it create some problems for the broadcast team? Yeah, it does. And does it create problems for the viewers, like Padres fans? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
E-Racing with Dale, thank you, man, for your membership in the generous super chat. He says LFGSD was at the game, electric atmosphere. I mean, we were downtown obviously all day. What time did we get down there today? We were both in the team store
early.
Yeah, 1 o'clock, 12, whatever time. It was a great atmosphere. It was a beautiful day. There were so many Padres fans. It's just such a great thing to see. Downtown was hopping for hours and hours before the start of the game. And I think tomorrow's going to be better now that they lead the series 2-1 and people kind of smell the blood in the water. And we'll see if they can close it out tomorrow.
The team store was packed. Jersey was in the cart. Fortunately, it did not reach the checkout line. But what'd you get? Yeah, you bought something for Jones, right?
Yeah, I'll wear it to school tomorrow. Let's see. Hold on. Padres.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at that. That's for a 5-year-old.
Is that a Mova Globe? Is that a Mova Globe?
On there? Yeah, kind of. It's like a Padres Mova Globe. You're right.
It's like a Padres Mova Globe, but like reverse colors.
He's going to rock that tomorrow. Kindergarten. Everyone's going to be like, yo, you see the game? He's going to be like, yeah, I saw the game.
Yeah.
Except he was sleeping at 7:30. HBBBV, thank you for the super. He says, Dave pulling a Buck Showalter move out of desperation. That is an interesting comp, isn't it? Yeah. Because that's what Buck did try to no avail. And Dave tried something and it didn't work tonight.
Nope. It was something that at least tonight backfired. We don't know what's going to happen the rest of this series, but at least tonight it backfired. And it will culminate if they win tomorrow night or Friday night with Dave Roberts having it completely backfire on them.
Let me just see something here real quick in the supers. This from Kai. Thank you, Kai. Says if Tatis wins World Series, will he be greatest of all time Padre?
Like World Series MVP?
Well,
or just World Series? No, there's a guy named Tony Gwynn who played here.
I was going to say, like,
Trevor Hoffman.
We're getting way. We have no clue what's going to happen, how it happens. What if they won the World Series and Ha-Seong Kim came off the IL, not happening, and hit 6 home runs? Again, not happening. But like, we don't know A, if that happens, and B, how that happens. What if they win the World Series and Machado is the World Series MVP, not Fernando Tatis Jr.? What if it's Andrew Bogarts or so on and so forth? Jackson Merrill, for example.
Right. Yeah.
There's no greatest of all time right now. I mean, though they'd be the first ever World Series winners, which would be amazing and celebrated truly for forever in San Diego. But it's hard to make that type of like broad statement or bold statement right now on anyone.
Yeah. Long way to go. 9 more wins. Long way to go. Pick up one more win against the Dodgers tomorrow, and it's closer to becoming a reality. But if that were to happen, it's going to be the greatest team, obviously, in Padres history. Players have, long careers. I mean, Manny could go down as like potentially the second or third greatest Padre in franchise history.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I mean, that's a great conversation, really, for the offseason, just in general. I think Manny Machado absolutely has a chance, no matter what happens this postseason, to be considered one of the 2 or 3 greatest Padres. Yeah,
it's really, really hard to overtake Tony. I don't think Tony will ever be overtaken, nor I think should he, honestly. Right. Like, I don't think Tony ever, even though he never won a World Series, I don't think anybody should overtake Tony as far as title of Mr. Padre and greatest Padre ever. But
no one's going to take the title, that's for sure.
No. But shit, I mean, they won a World Series. Manny Machado has 9 more years of excellence here, or at least 4 of the 9 years. And
I mean, what if they win? You know what I mean? We don't know what the future holds. So people can write history, but people can write their own history. Like, there's a chance for players on this team to be remembered as some of the greats in the history of the franchise. We all agree. Yeah. Some of the greats in the history of the franchise, we all agree. There's players on this team that have a chance to do that. That I think is
long way to go. So that's
long way to go to win the World Series
in the offseason, hopefully.
But long way to go to win a World Series, but not a long way to consider Manny Machado one of the franchise's preeminent players, if you think about it. Because he's home run leader, and he's got another 8-9 years in this deal, and yada, yada, yada. He's a great player.
Correct.
He is a great player. So tomorrow the matchup is Dylan Cease on 3 days rest opposite Bullpen.
Yes, correct.
The Bullpen that is pitching for the Dodgers. The first pitch time is 6:08. Our pregame broadcast begins at 3 p.m. at Naughty Barrel, downtown 9th and Market. This is behind Gallagher Square. Type it into your phone when you get down there. I know you're going to get down there early. Then you're going to say, hey, we got 90 minutes to kill. Come over and hang with us, grab a drink at the bar, say hello, and then make your way in. Just type in Naughty Barrel. If you've never been there before, it's close. We both did the walk to the ballpark today. It's 5 minutes max. You could probably walk it in 3 to 4 minutes.
Easily.
So no longer than a 5-minute walk. It'll be beautiful downtown. The weather will be spectacular. If you're down there at 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon or 4:30 and you still probably have 30 or 40 minutes to kill, come join us, say hello. Or listen to us, San Diego Sports 760, iHeartRadio app. You can watch us on YouTube as well. Search for John and Jim 760. And then whatever happens tomorrow night, we're back with you on the wrap-up show again tomorrow night following Game 4 of this series. What are you laughing at?
Here is the headline for the UT for tomorrow.
I saw it, and I was going to say something, and I didn't.
The headline reads, "How to Throw a Ball."
It's actually a pretty good headline. At first, I'm like, what? But like they threw a ball down at Petco.
Bats bust out for 6 early runs. Bullpen goes 4 scoreless innings in electric Game 3.
I like how to throw a ball, as if Petco threw a ball, but Dave Roberts called out the Padres for throwing a ball. I see you, UT.
Golf clap.
I see you.
Golf clap. Golf clap. Very good job. Very good job, UT. Good job, Ryan. Good job, everybody.
That was good. Ryan, congratulations. Ryan Finley.
Yes.
Whatever they're paying you, that's a good thing. Talon, thank you. He says Manny's base running to second. Brilliance. It's like the whole story of the game. And there's quotes from Kevin Acee in this postgame article tonight talking about it, both from Dave Roberts' perspective and from Mike Shildt and maybe some of the players on the Padres saying, like, it doesn't happen without it. Like, there's no guarantee anything happens that inning without Manny Machado. So,
isn't it crazy?
Big part of the game.
Isn't it crazy how the Dodgers spent $1 billion in the offseason, and in a must-win game for them, they're starting a bullpen day?
Yes, it is. And
now, injuries play a factor for sure.
Glass now is a big part of that, obviously.
Kershaw,
but how can you count on Kershaw?
Yeah, you can't count on Kershaw. I actually would love if Kershaw was starting tomorrow for the Dodgers, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I would love it. But yeah, injuries are only used as the main excuse for losers. And you have to, winners find solutions, as Mike Shildt has said. And I said this about this year. Injuries was not going to be the reason why I wouldn't use that as an excuse, because I just wasn't going to. Like, and Mike Shildt is the perfect quote. Like, winners find solutions, and you got to find a solution. Sorry, Dodgers. I mean, you spent $1 billion in the offseason, but that ain't our problem. So yeah.
Yeah. This is from Manny Halpern. I'm just reading things on the internet. 2 days ago, the Padres called Jorge Alfaro's agent and told him they wanted him to come from Miami to throw the first pitch. Alfaro, I thought he was joking. I got excited. I walked into the stadium. So many feelings. San Diego is always going to have a big place in my heart. That's pretty cool, though. They're
sign me.
Like, yo, call Alfaro. We'll get you a ticket. We'll put you in business class. We'll get you a hotel downtown. And why don't you throw out the first pitch for Game 3 here? I mean, that was good vibes. And this is a vibes team, and that was really good vibes to have Jorge Alfaro throw out the first pitch.
It's really cool. It's like a deep cut Padres fan type of thing. Like a lot of probably other fans, like, who, Jorge Alfaro? Why would you have Jorge Alfaro throw out the first pitch?
No, if you know, you know.
He's the creator of LFGSD.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good question here from JD Gacho. Who should be more confident tomorrow, the Dodgers
Oof.
or the Phillies? Who's
Right.
throwing for the Phillies tomorrow?
Good question.
We don't know the answer to that.
That would be John. Oh, Ranger Suarez.
Oh, then the Phillies should feel more confident.
Yeah. He's his first start in the postseason this year. His career postseason numbers are 3-1 with a 1.62 ERA and 33 1/3 innings pitched.
Yeah, that answers Philadelphia. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but that answer's got to be.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we did say it at least one team in the division round who had a bye will lose.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that, and we'll see.
We all felt that.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what the rust discussion will look like. But kind of, I mean, it is baseball, but also the Phillies, like, besides their comeback the other day, have not looked sharp at all. Same thing with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And the Yankees to an extent, but yeah.
All right, I do want to remind our viewers about our friends. Pull that down, Jim, if you can. Our friends at Underdog Fantasy. If you support the channel, if you want a chance to win up to 1,000 times your money in a night, use promo code PODSWRAP and get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Their best offer ever. Use promo code PODSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. That's PADSWRAP. Get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus some free pick'ems as well. They'll give you highly discounted pick'ems like higher than a half total yard thrown by Patrick Mahomes or higher than a half plate appearance for Fernando Tatis Jr. They're essentially giving you a winner. All you got to do is click the link in the description down below. Use promo code PODSWRAP. Play along tomorrow. Padres pick'ems, Game 4 of the NLDS. You can play across sports. That includes the NFL, college football, NBA, NHL getting back underway here in October as well. So it couldn't be easier or simpler. It's straightforward. Just download the app or click the link in the description down below. Remember to use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP for a chance to win up to 1,000 times your money in a single night.
Yep. Scan the QR code right there. Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use our promo code PODSWRAP and start playing higher or lower on your favorite players and make some money. It's postseason time. NFL's underway. Underdog is the place to go. Download it right now. Promo code PODSWRAP.
Love this from Murray. Murray, appreciate you, man. He says, oh, Dr. Jerry, Tony, Peter, and Ray, all smiles. So yes, I like that.
So far, it's not over. It's not done. This is not done. They can,
but they can smile.
They can smile now. They're happy about a Game 3 win. But like, again, can't preface this enough. This thing is not over. They have to go out and play good baseball tomorrow. And if the Dodgers win tomorrow, guess what? All the momentum goes back to LA.
100%.
So go take care of business tomorrow and put down a wounded animal, and that's the Dodgers.
So we got to within 19 subscribers of 7,500 live.
Not bad, guys. But
there's 800 of you here live right now. If you haven't subscribed, maybe just popped in, it's your first time on the channel, or you just want to support, we have year-round content for Padres fans. We said we'd love to get to 7,500 tonight. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, we appreciate it. Whether you're here live or on replay, please subscribe. Year-round content, in season, out of season, for Padres fans. Also, please smash that like button. We're going to blow through 500 likes on this video. Hopefully get to 1,000 likes potentially on this video. Please follow us, by the way, on X, at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you're here on replay, thank you for your support with the super thanks. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for those that become members by clicking the join button down below as well. We're going to do this whole damn thing again tomorrow, thankfully, from downtown San Diego to Naughty Barrel from 3 to 6 to tomorrow night on the wrap-up show with post-game coverage of Game 4. Can the Padres do it again? I saw the super that just rolled in. We'll get to it again. We'll get to it in a moment. But can the Padres beat the Dodgers again and advance? Let's get to this here from Talon. It says Padres ban Dodger fans in stadium. Can they also ban Charger fans?
There were Dodger fans there tonight, guys.
Yeah, I don't think they were banned. I mean, no. We have StubHub. Anyone can buy tickets, you know?
Yeah, only the idiot Dodger fans think that they can't buy tickets. And also the stupid narrative of how Dodger fans couldn't go to the game. Like, give me a break.
Right.
This game was already pretty much sold out before the rest of the tickets went on sale. Like, stop.
Yeah, there were like 500 tickets available and they sold in like 2 seconds.
Right.
Appreciate you, man. I think David put something on. He was like a photographer tonight, credentialed photographer for like USA Today, and he's watching the show right now.
Awesome.
Super cool. So thank you for your support
Thanks
of
for
the
watching,
channel.
David. Appreciate you, buddy.
And again, support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. He's our title sponsor. If you have an insurance need, click the link in the description down below. He literally gave me my driver license number in a parking lot of a Vons or a Food for Less yesterday in like some random, I don't even know where I was. So thank you, Mark. Great insurance agent. Mova Globes, if you want 10% off, use promo code PODSWRAP. That's use promo code PWS10. It's been a long year. Promo code PWS10, get 10% off these Mova Globes. Pick them up. Click the link in the description down below. And we told you about Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. You get a 50% deposit match. Let's do this again tomorrow, Jim.
Okay.
2 hours, by the way. 2 hours on the nose for the wrap-up show. We will see you downtown, Naughty Barrel, 3 p.m. Join us, San Diego Sports 760, iHeartRadio app, YouTube, and then tomorrow night right back here on the wrap-up show.
What a night.
Padres win Game 3. Can they do it again in Game 4? We'll find out tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Get some rest.